forsaken me. Just wanna fall here silently into the arms of people I love. On the waiting stars as the ships come rolling in. But look at the way the faces turn. Eyes burn wide. If you be the sky, then I'll be the bird. I look at the way the faces turn. Eyes burn wide. If you be the sky, then I'll be the bird. Sound the power lines we're leading, and always lost here. Look your bow with the city lights, with your fingers crossed. And you said I'd be a place and time. You said I'd be a man, making eyes with a sea of lies, so you understand me. Said you're raping on my dreaming, and you're ruining my best made plans. Already turns into
Voilà, il n'y a pas eu de sifflet.
Wonderful. Tell you, that doesn't send shivers down your spine. I don't know what does.
One, come on!
Take this. Have to lead the 22 with some points if they can, Bo. It's now a long period of pressure. Best is there, so too Heaslip, two big men in that back row. Ball is picked up and he's got out, and it is Dowling to score. And Ireland do get their try, and you really felt that they needed to come away with something after concerted pressure before the miss kick. And then that attacking opportunity given to them by Shane Drum, his mistake at the 22 dropout. And Ian Dowling scores again.
We're into the final 60 seconds. Scotland are still giving it a bash. The ball was knocked on by the captain, and there are opportunities here. This is Horgan sprinting up outside, and Gavin Duffy, what an introduction to Six Nations rugby for Gavin Duffy. He's only been on a matter of minutes, and he's already scored a try for his country.
Well, yet again it comes from a mistake, and a lot of sympathy for Scotland, because I genuinely don't think that the gap is as big as it looks. All they've really lacked today is a little bit of confidence and composure on the ball. They've turned the ball over far too frequently, much like they had done in the autumn series. They appeared to have shaken it in Paris, but as soon as the pressure's on, some of those doubts have crept back in again and just presented Ireland with opportunities. Opportunities, it has to be said, that without O'Driscoll and Darcy, Ireland were concerned they mightn't be able to create themselves.
It's a good attacking opportunity once again for the Irish forwards.
Catch and drive, maybe.
Definitely, not maybe.
Here we go. They've been splintering the Welsh defence with this kind of move, and he's gone again, Shane Byrne. It's astonishing. He did exactly the same within a minute of the start of the match, and he's done precisely the same within a minute of half-time. 2 tries for Shane Byrne, and listen to this, 4 tries for Ireland, and we've not played 40 minutes.
Maloney to Tom Grace. Inside there to McKinney. There's a chance for Slattery. What a try!
I think Fergus Slattery is somebody that you could have played, with his speed, you could have played in the back line. In terms of his innate abilities to make that switch and play at inside centre from day one, that's probably going to be an ask, but I would have no question that if he'd been playing inside centre for a couple of years, yeah, he'd be totally comfortable there. I think we all remember that great try in the Barbarians New Zealand game and his part in that, and a wonderful pass to keep the movement going. So, I mean, in terms of his hands, and he had wonderful hands, and he was good on the ball. So, as I said before, I think he was as complete an open side wing forward as you'll find.
He was a serious athlete. He worked hard and he played hard, and very few people played harder than Ferguson.
The swift-footed Geoghegan stretching his legs to the line for Ireland.
Back goes Simon Geoghegan to O'Shea.
Even against the world champions. What's this for great Irish teamwork?
What a good run it is too for Niall Woods. Support here from Corkery, and this is much better from Ireland. In goes Fulcher. This is great stuff from the men in green. Bradley, Elwood, Danaher, Bell. Here's Geoghegan. Lopez opposite number Smith, and well held up for Keith Wood. Super stuff from the hooker. Bradley, and here's a chance now for Clohessy. Driving hard for the line, and it's a try. Well, great stuff from Ireland. They've come right back through Peter Clohessy. And what a time to score, 4 minutes before half-time.
To Bradley, Elwood to drop it goal. It's over. Ireland lead.
Again, you know, the old English superiority complex when they play against one of their little Celtic brethren, and they can't help themselves. And they came over full of themselves that day. They were going to get about 25 players out of 30 in the Lions squad that was going to be announced the next day. We weren't going to get diddly squashed.
England had a very big pack. They also had a terrific backline, and they were led by Will Carling. And England had come to Lansdowne Road expecting to win this game. They were brimful of confidence. And the only way that Ireland was going to beat them was to use traditional Irish methods, and that's get in their faces. And they really did get in their faces.
Eric Elwood's kicking game was immaculate that day, and he got every point he could out of the game for us in terms of also landing on 2 drop goals. Ireland didn't have many chances that day, but they took every chance that came their way, and that was mainly thanks to Eric Elwood.
There's a wholeness about Elwood's play that's always impressed me. Not the most nimble on his feet, not the quickest ball handling out half, but in terms of getting it tactically right on the big occasions, he's right up there in the Campbell League.
Eric Elwood from the 10-metre line. Has found the target and the distance.
Ireland then snapped it up. Elwood got it away to Michael Bradley, and eventually it was finished off by Mick Galway, who'd put in a soaring performance, and the big Munster man went over in the corner for what was the winning try.
Mick Galway's in! Mick Galway seals it for Ireland!
We played with extraordinary passion, really. It was a throwback game, I think, where we were greater than the sum of our parts. The Galway try, I suppose, in a way, is a sort of poor man's Ginger McLaughlin try, where he storms over in the corner to effectively win the match for us.
You hear a lot of noise, and you know, you can hear your own, but like sometimes you can block that noise out. You hear your own teammates, but you have to be able to hear them. You know, I remember Simon Geoghegan was on my left and he was shouting, and you know, there was a big sigh because people obviously wanted to score to finish the match off.
As the crowd rise to 15 Irish heroes.
Considered to be one of Ireland's finest rugby players, out-half Tony Ward played for Munster, Leinster, Ireland, the Barbarians and the British and Irish Lions during the period of 1975 to 1987. Ward played a pivotal role in Munster's historic 12-0 defeat of the All Blacks in Thomond Park in 1978. He won 19 caps and scored 113 points for Ireland and was named European Rugby Player of the Year in 1979. Ward continues to contribute to Irish rugby in a coaching capacity and as a respected journalist and commentator. Tony Ward graduated in 1978 with a Bachelor of Arts in Physical Education.
Taken at the front by Spanghero, Ast loosely out. And look how quickly the Irish defence is up. Dick Milliken kicking on to the halfway line. Trafferty falls. There's 2 Irishmen unopposed. Tony Enser, can he control it? He's got it! That is one of the most remarkable tries.
remember going home with my dad from a Leinster match in Lansdowne Road, and my dad explaining to me that most people thought that Ireland's official colours were green, all right? But in actual fact, Ireland's official national colour is St. Patrick's blue. And went on to explain that most people think that Ireland's official emblem was actually shamrock, when in actual fact it's the harp. So he explained that as far as he knew at that time, and I think it's probably still true to this day, that the only non-international rugby team to play in their country's national colours with their national crest on the hearts was actually Leinster.
Ireland's women played host to Wales in Malahide on Sunday in their final warm-up game before departing for the World Cup. There was a great turnout to the grounds to support the girls, as the excitement is clearly building ahead of next week. It was the hosts who applied all of the early pressure, but Rhys Edwards' Welsh side took the lead against a run of play in the 14th minute. It was the number 8 Harries who intercepted an Irish pass in the back line. She sprinted the length of the pitch and she would not be caught on her way to the line. Out half Robin Wilkins added the 2 points to give the Welsh a 7-0 advantage. Ireland though continued to press their opponents, and they finally got on the scoreboard when centre Grace Davitt's surging break resulted in a penalty, which Stapleton slotted over with ease from in front of the posts. Doyle resisted making changes at the interval, and Ireland's pressure began to pay off as winger Baxter sprinted down the touchline and beat the covering fullback to score.
My first main sport was horse riding, and you know, it was a good bit away from home, and my dad used to have to get up before work, drop me out, leave me there for the day. It was good babysitting, I suppose, but collect me then at night, so it was probably 2 hours onto his journey every day to and from work.
I banned my dad from my games for a while because I felt too much pressure when I was younger, so I asked my mum to ask him, but she told me afterwards, only a couple of years ago, that he used to come, and this sounds really bad, but he used to stand in the field next door and watch through the fence, because if I'd seen him I would have lost my rag. So yeah, that there. Well, we've got, look, I've had great memories with my father.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've actually never seen so many girls all playing rugby in the one venue and getting some really quality coaching. You can just see that the skill level is really, really high. I know there'll be a few taking our position on the Irish team and a good number coming out of this group here, so it's exciting times ahead.
Good challenge by Whelan, and this is Robinson on the break. Stapleton's pulling away. Oh, good play, Robinson. Stapleton's far post. A great goal! That was a super goal! Marvellous goal!
A brilliant start against such a great opposition that you would always like to get off to a good start. Obviously, particularly being at home, and for us to go ahead so early in the game was a wonderful start for us.
The odd phases of the game here as Munster look to try and bring it now. There's an opportunity if they can move it quickly here towards Dennis Leamy. Dennis Leamy reverses his way towards the 22. Chance here for O'Gara. O'Gara now, well, if he backs himself, lets it available here. High enough out challenge on Via Dupree, but he fell into it. Munster now look to try and take control of it. O'Gara standing on the 10-metre line. Back with Dennis Leamy. O'Gara calling for the ball. Dennis Leamy tries to get it. Back towards O'Gara. The attempt to drop goal outside the 22. Towards the post. O'Gara, what the drop and goal has gone between the posts. Running O'Gara between the posts. After about 145 paces. O'Gara between the posts. The referee has blown the full-time whistle. Northampton have been absolutely kicked where his heart votes. Munster at the death, 100 caps for Hayes. Munster with the victory. Northampton are devastated. They might have been brilliant for 8.5 matches. They were fantastic for 79 minutes and 50 odd seconds, maybe 85 seconds. Munster, after 100,000 faces, O'Gara with the drop and goal. They've beaten Northampton by 2 points. Incredible. Well, what?
Kenyans in their whole life, because you're brought up in a very tough, very demanding, very challenging environment,
survival is the name of the game. Absolutely. So you're used to failure. You're used to disappointments. You're used to setbacks. It's part of your culture. It's part of your whole lifestyle from the time you were a young kid. You've had difficulties. You've had problems. Maybe you didn't even have enough to eat. You didn't have enough. You didn't have shoes. You didn't have any luxury in your life. So it's always a battle against the odds. Your whole lifestyle. And so when it comes to, to athletics or to standing on a starting line, that same fight and that same, you never give up. You never, it's bred into you. It's part of your culture. It's part of your system. In a sense, they probably find it a little bit more difficult to handle success.
Because it's a
strange thing to them, having.
Than 200. A Sullivan strike, and it is decisive. For Murray now, it's a question of staying off, and she's certain of the silver. A superb run by Sonia O'Sullivan. She comes storming away to take the European title. The time 8:31.83.
The highs and lows. Sonia O'Sullivan is the champion of the world, the first Irish girl to win a World Championship gold record. Ireland has a new world champion.
European under 23 10,000 metre champion in 5th place. And the attack's on now. Ribeiro, the defending champion from Portugal, followed by Sonia O'Sullivan. Ratcliffe in 3rd place, and Siemens looking very strong, and so too Jeptic. The medal's being sorted out now with 200 to go. Ratcliffe's been so courageous in this race, but will she end up with a medal at all? There goes O'Sullivan, and in 2 or 3 strides it's all over. O'Sullivan knew the race was there, knew the gold medal was there, and she powered away very, very easily. The slow race suited her. O'Sullivan takes gold for Ireland. Ribeiro was the silver. Simon the bronze. Jeptic in 4th place.
Creve the Hayden, Tilse Egg Kirka. Agus in ish brother Uchtaron on the Chumalú Glasgow Sean Kelly, Conor Vicari, Chaptid Osel Chorka, Shamog O'Halpine, Wimshe, Gary Machtanacha, Agus O Pat Flory, Gagudi Diaship.
Agus now Ciara Barty, Ultra Colin Cascade, Sean O'Connell, Agus a week to Danish Turkey, Sean Kirk, Colin McConnell, and Penelope Asakela. Cheyenne Tuku Clear Money to Bookie Corky Gaboo, Rebels Boo, up your Rebels! It's final Chelsea on Fiji Corky, Agus a Corky Corky.
Now then, Keith Wood has a go. Just got past Howley.
You won't see anything like this again. The front row union will be thrilled with that. Peter Clohesy flat out.
But what about Peter Clohesy? He went through the traffic and found himself in space. I think he was lost.
They're bound to strike a medal at the Young Munster Club anyway.
Exactly, there'll be a huge cheer.
But even say from the organisational point of view of life, you would have been well used to whether you were playing for Munster or Ireland. Your whole schedule was mapped out a month in advance. You had a sheet that would go under the door to say, well look, you put on your blue top, your red pants. You obviously didn't get that sheet this morning. But I suppose in fairness, you know...
These will be in Brown Thomas around about 9 months' time.
I thought they were in Aldi 6 months ago. To be fair, you know, I know you looked at me and thought I was rather smart this morning. You've already taken my job in the Irish Examiner. You're chasing my job in RT.
All these outfits are very very sensitive.
The only thing I have to say, showing off my watch and my cufflinks, is Newbridge Silver were on to me there. You gotta watch your back, kid. You're out of the country.
It's alright, I don't mind you coming in there, but Jamie Heaslip, that would be a different story.
I was privileged to work with Connacht and one of its great stalwarts, Noel Mannion. In Cardiff, he engaged in that absolutely lung-bursting run for the corner to score a try which even the ranks of Tuscany could scarce forbear to cheer.
From Noel Mannion!
Mannion's great Gaelic footballing skills won the ball on the kick, and then he set off in a demonstration of speed and athleticism that had everybody in the grandstands cheering.
From Noel Mannion. He blocked the kick from Bledon Bowen and managed to hold it